Budget monitoring. What elements should be reviewed? Revenues, uh, seasonality, and whether comparable to prior observations, any potential volatility and the resulting impacts, change and comparison to projections, one-time sources, timing of receipts, relationship to economic indicators and potential impacts, changes in policy practice of overarching governments involved in disbursement of revenues, review of patterns and other similar related governments. Expenditures. Government needs to carefully monitor all expenditure as well, including one-time uses and also these key aspects. Personnel. Examine additional detail beyond just regular payroll expenses, including analysis related to hiring and vacancy information, and also depending on magnitude, analysis of part-time, overtime, leave payout, and special pay. In addition, conduct analysis of reclass promotions to see if on track with expectations and whether fringe benefit costs are within its budget expectations as well. Non-personnel monitoring needs to include more than just its current expenses. Governments need to analyze drawdown on encumbrances, outstanding purchase orders, and its major contracts to develop a better picture of not only what was spent, but what remains to be spent. Operations are services being provided as anticipated. Are any services being provided that were unanticipated? What changes are being observed that may impact whether or not spending remains on track? Capital. Government needs to monitor the budgets of capital projects as well. Economic trends. Economic trends. How is the broader context of prices for labor, services, commodities, and other items impacting expenses versus the budget? F. Performance measures. Governments should incorporate into their budget monitoring process an examination of performance measures and linkages to financial outcomes. The analysis should include any changes to goals and initiatives since budget adoption, and are there any new initiatives not initially included in the budget? 2. How the elements should be analyzed. A root cause. Government should move beyond just identify deviations from budget versus actuals and work towards analyzing and articulating why this occurred. B. Time frame. Is it anticipated for any identified variance to continue, or is there an underlying reason for the variance? How does the current spending pattern impact the subsequent year's budget? C. Requirements. Structure budget monitoring to meet any interim reporting requirements that the government may have. D. Basis of comparison. Government should also ensure that reference points for comparison are logical and appropriate and account for any major organizational changes that would impact any comparisons. In addition to comparison of current results to budget, government should expand their basis of comparison for more robust analysis to include previous year actual, average, several private year actual projections and forecasts. At 3, at what level of detail should the analysis be conducted? So the level is A, fund, used for high-level analysis and also maybe the only monitoring needed for monitor revenue expenditure areas. B, the level of department. C, the level of sub-department division. D, the level of function. Like used to track expenditures by major or organizational responsibility, for example, public safety, public work, etc. E. Object account, utilized for examining key types of expenditure at an organization-wide basis, such as overtime. F. Project program grant activity, used to track revenue expenditure of specific activities associated with areas that need additional scrutiny for reporting requirements. 4. Who is responsible for and outlining roles? Production. Role. A. Production. B. Roles. So A. Production, who produce the analysis. B. Roles. Collaboration and ownership within the organization should be promoted to help provide context related to any potential issues. C. Ownership. Identify who is responsible for resolving variances related to both spend and service delivery, as well as any other problems. So 5 tools for conducting the analysis. A. Electronic system. An organization enterprise resource planning ERP system should drive data gathering and analysis related to budget monitoring. So, and B, automation. Budget monitoring data and reports should be integrated into and generated by an organization's ERP system to ensure efficient use of staff time. C, overspend protection. D, consistency. So CIS communication. This will vary in type, size of just jurisdiction as well as the intended audience. A, frequency. B, delivery. C, format. D, transparency. So a frequency, how often it should be monitor the report. B, delivery. The government should describe the point at which the monitoring process is achieved and how the information is communicated and to which stakeholders, both internally and externally. C, format. The format must be clearly established, including considerations for the audience and their level of expertise. D, transparency. How can information be shared on a widespread basis to the community and include the proper context to be best informed to the public and minimize additional requests for more information. 7, action. A government's budget monitoring process does not end at the time of communication. Following the steps above, the government will conduct comprehensive monitoring and communication that will ensure timely corrective action and operational improvement. Okay, that's it.